Right, good morning bees. We are doing our regular checks, as you know, and today I thought I'll take you with me and show you inside some of the hives. I'm actually quite excited to see the progress they've made, and hopefully we're going to see a little bit more honey now, because you know this year's been devastating. It's been really bad in terms of forage and all of the orchard trees, and basically everything that grows any fruit in it or vegetables is pretty dead, other than the ones that are raised in like conservatories sort of stuff. So let's see guys, we didn't get anything from the acacia, blossomed, went away, terrible weather, bees couldn't do their job. But now we've got the linden, which has been blossoming for about a week. So let's see if we are going to have a decent harvest at all this year. I'll give it a little shake. Okay. Right. This is a good, it's a good thing to see, like that many bees up here. It means they are probably stacking, nectar along these frames, because normally what would happen is they'll use the bottom has the chamber brood, and the top they'll always use to collect the honey over there, because the idea for them is to keep it as far away as possible from the entrance, in terms of keeping it safe from like thieves, because as you know by now, bees rob each other, especially during the hot months of July and August, coming into fall, September as well. This is when they tend to come down, when the weather starts getting bad. Okay, I can feel there's a bit of honey over here. There we go. Nothing's been sealed off, so that means it's not ready to be collected at all. But I'm happy to see that at least they are filling up some of the frames. Honestly, given how bad this year's been, at this point any honey that we harvest is going to be very welcomed. Speaking to some colleagues, they say this is the worst year we've had in 25 years. Here we go, we have a little bit more honey over here as well. Not on this side. They haven't built it, they haven't had a chance to build it completely, I mean. Alright. Yeah, boy. Okay, this one is now heavier. It's probably about 2 kilos, give or take. You see that shiny honey right in there, don't you? Look at that. Good. What I really want to see on our next checkup in about 4 or 5 days, I'd say probably about a week maybe, I really want to see that honey that you see shining in the cells right there now. I want to see that being sealed off, because as I said, until it's sealed off I can't take it out. Otherwise the honey can go bad, okay? And the reason being is, as you see the nectar in the cells right now, it's got too much water content in it. Okay, so what the bees do, they effectively remove that water content over time, and that's the point when when they get it to a certain level, when when the honey is not gonna get spoiled. That's the point that they seal it off with a wax cap on top of the cell. Good, we've got more honey here, that's rather heavy as well. But up until that point you should not take it out, because yes, we're going to harvest it, but if it's got over 20% water content in it, it will go bad, and that will completely defeat the purpose of extracting the honey. Good. I am seeing an alright amount of honey, right? Normally by now we would have harvested the acacia, but because there were none this year, we're obviously not harvesting anything at the moment. We're just keeping our fingers crossed, hoping and praying that these guys are going to have enough forage from the linden to actually, you know, seal off at least a few frames of honey that we can take out and, you know, share with you. Come on. Alright, this one is stuck down there somewhere. Now I see what they've done. They've built between the two frames. Okay. Good. Okay. Very nice. What I'm also noticing is that the honey is spread all over the frames, which means that the queen is still isolated. What do I mean by, you know, it being still isolated, right? Well, sometimes, I'll show you the isolator in a second of where the queen is kept, but sometimes they tend to be, you know, not every queen bee is the same size like, you know, the others. Some of them are smaller, and the smaller ones often will sneak out of the, you know, from the isolator, and they'll go around and start laying eggs all over the place. That could really make your life harder as a beekeeper, because, you know, extracting honey from frames which have got brood is not good. It's not good at all. Right, so just a little tap, lift it up, and we have to move these guys away. Oh, blimey, that's heavy. It's not even filled up yet. Oh, all right. I'm gonna let them rest there for a second. Also have a look inside here. I really like, you know, when bees behave like this, because normally what they could do is literally crawl up and cover the frames entirely, and it makes it really hard for me to do my job. But these guys are staying in between the frames. See, there is so much bees, but they're staying tucked away, which is what we want. So you see, I'm not even having to use the smoker right now because they're so well behaved. Okay. Let's have a look. We don't need to see the end ones. They're not the ones we care about. Normally, now that the queen's been isolated, she's not laying any eggs, so the focus of the bees has been switched over from looking after brood to collecting nectar, right? And they should have some honey over here as well. Okay, let's have a look, see what's going on. Yep, they are filling up this frame as well with honey, which is good. Not entirely, but there is some honey on it. There we go. Oh, you might wonder why I'm working with this as for woodworking. Well, I lost my tool somewhere in the grass the other day when I was, you know, working around here, and I still haven't gotten around to the bee shop to get myself a new one. So I've been using, like, you know, like this chisel. Used the screwdriver the other day as well, so, you know, anything can work. I'm MacGyvering it out here. We have a little bit more honey. So what we're doing right now is we're also looking for queen cells. If we see any queen cells, we gotta get rid of them, because even though the queen is isolated, it's swarm period, so they might still feel like swarming, and we gotta prevent that, because we want them to be in their full capacity and collect as much honey as possible. Look at that. I'm pretty covered all over with bees. Good. Okay, a bit more honey here. No queen cells. Alright, I'm gonna drop it down, and now we get into the frame which holds the queen isolator. Alright, here it is. So do you see the isolator over here? Alright, see they've placed a couple of queen cells over here. Let's have a look inside, see if there's an egg. Is there an egg? Nope, there is no egg. No egg either. So it's not an actual queen cell. The queen is somewhere inside here. And I'm just going to try and give him a gentle blow. So the little bees will move out the way. Get out of the isolator. And I can show you the queen. Here she, I barely see her myself. You probably won't be able to see her, you know, through the video. But she's just walking just up here inside. So even though she's isolated, they are still taking care of her. They're not gonna just let her die like that. Okay. Now that we know the queen's inside, there's not many, actually not even one queen cell that I've seen. So what we're gonna do is just check the last couple frames, just in case, you know. Ah, haha. That's why you should always check. I was just gonna say, better be safe than sorry. And look at what we got here. That is a beautiful, beautiful queen cell. You know, there are normally two types of queen cells. You know, you got the swarming one, and the other ones we call them the candlestick. What do you call it? Queen cell. Like this. This is a candlestick. The candlesticks are normally placed around this part of the frame, and normally it's believed that the candlestick queens are better than the swarming ones. Like normally they come out bigger and more effective, you know, laying more eggs, whilst the ones down here tend to come out smaller and could be problematic. But now sadly these guys have got a queen already, and getting this queen to life means we're going to lose a lot of the bees with her. So we're going to have to get her out, unfortunately. So much royal jelly in here. Oh well, it's got to be done, guys. And then we place that right back in there. There we go. Oops, sorry, I'm just keeping my head down way too much. See, they're starting to get agitated, crawling out. And this is the point when I'm just going to give them a little bit of smoke, just to get them away. Because I really hate it when I squash bees. I just want to do my job as quickly as possible, but at the same time the most gentle way. Here we go. Right, let's have a look, see what we got here. We got to give him a little blow to get him moving away. Can't see any queen cells. Nope. These are just the cups. But these cups, they've got nothing in them. Alright, I think we're good. Yeah, that's good. And then we're on to the last one. So the way we put it, you know, the way to put the frame down without squashing any bees is, you see we have this part here sticking out more than the rest of, you know, the frame down here. So each frame has that. So what you would do is you make sure you align these two, and then you slide down on them, nice and gentle. That way you ensure that when you're taking them out and putting them back in the box, you're obviously not gonna, you know, squash any bees, or at least if you do, it's gonna be, you know, minimal. Do we see any queen cells here? No, we don't. Any queen cells? Nope. That's it. Okay, that's it. Our inspection of this hive was fairly short. You see how calm they were at the beginning? And that's what happens. They eventually will get tired of you. There we go. And that's the point. I'm gonna have to smoke them out a little bit. Alright. Get away, my girls. Alright. And we're gonna push back all the frames. And push back gently. Then we get the last frame. Put it down inside. And now I'm gonna give them a little smoke again, because we're bringing back the other box, aren't we? Come on, girls, get out of there. I know it's your corner, right? But don't want to cue you. And here is the rest. Oh my days! I am at the same time looking forward and not looking forward to harvesting these boxes when they're full. They could weigh, it's a 10 frame box, each frame could take 5 or 6 kilos once, you know, sealed off. So on average you're looking at around 50 kilos per box that I'll have to get rid of all the bees and carry inside there, you know, to get extracted. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this and hope you have a good day.